Well, hi, everybody. Hello,
Woohoo!
friends. Let me pop over here so y'all can see us. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, time appropriate salutations. My name is VooDoo Val, and I am here with my very good friend, Cody Bear. Cody, how are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic, Val. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. I'm pretty pumped about this. I don't know if you guys know this, but Cody and I are throwing a party. Yeah, and
You all are invited.
you are all invited, indeed, and you are all also required to help us pick some of the things that are going to be at our party. I see Ray in the chat. I see General Kenobi. Hello there. Alessandra, welcome in. Keys. We got Jack Watson in the chat, holding it down. Carol, Pearl, Robert, welcome in. It's good to see all of you folks. Thank you for joining us. I hope you folks enjoyed the fabulous stream from Lazarus just before this. I was kind of
Yes.
peeking in there, and that was pretty great. But let us know how you're feeling today. Let us know what you are snacking on, because we got some snacks coming up. And also let us know if you can hear us all right. Thanks, Jack, for the links in the chat. If you folks have never been here for an episode of Drawing a Blank, basically this is the show where Cody and we have a little prompt prepped for you, similar to the one that is below our names, where you guys get to vote in the YouTube chat, fill in the blanks for us, and give us a little bit of direction on what we're working on. And today is a little bit special. Not only are we throwing a party, but we have an extra element to the prompt just in case we have time. So I'm going to pop over here and let you folks see what we've got going on. So our prompt for our party, our spooky Halloween party, which honestly, I gotta say, Cody, if anyone was gonna throw like the best Halloween party, I think it would be me and you. I
Yeah,
think it would
honestly.
be.
Not to toot our own horn or anything,
Well, not
but,
to, but we would totally kill it. And these are the things that we've got planned out for today. So there will be either jack-o'-lanterns or glass gem corn. Definitely look up glass gem corn if you haven't already.
hmm
I didn't even think it was like a real thing. It's gorgeous. We will serve apple cider or fruit punch. We will have caramel apples or spooky gummies, and we will decorate with either critter themed or leaf themed garlands. So that is what we've got so far. So our first poll, our first part of the prompt, you can vote on over on YouTube very shortly, is going to be a choice between jack-o'-lanterns and glass gem corn. If you are over on YouTube, you are in the right place. The prompt has just popped up, so you folks can vote for us. If you are over on Behance and would prefer to stay over on Behance, I suggest popping out the chat on our YouTube channel and just creating yourself a little module for voting, so that you can participate in our polls. And we're going to just dive in while you folks decide what you would like to choose. I've got myself a little sketch, a little Cody Bear inspired kind of. Is it called a spot illustration? Is that
Yes, spot illustration.
cool?
Indeed.
And how do you think you might approach this? Because it's a party, right? So it's like you could
Yes.
do a scene, or you could just illustrate the props. Like what do
hmm
you think you'll do, Cody?
I wasn't sure what I was gonna do because I like doing both equally, like kind of like a flat lay look or maybe a scene, but I think I'm gonna lean to scene.
Okay.
Um, Actually, chat, while you guys are working on that poll, just in the chat, I have a question for you. What is your favorite Halloween candy?
Ooh.
That is definitely a thematic question that I might include in my scene.
Welcome to bonus
Um
day. Day of
yeah,
bonuses.
we have lots of bonuses today.
I'm pretty pumped for candy corn. Honestly, I know that when it comes to candy corn, you either love it or you hate it. You
Hate
know,
it.
or
Hate
not for you. I'll be the first to tell you, pretty bad.
it.
Not very good. That's fair. That's totally fair. I personally, I really love candy corn. I think it's one of those things that my grandma had a lot of,
Mm.
and so I feel like it's like very nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
And so having it at Halloween is just like really, really special to me. I really like it. And I'm also very partial to sour candy, shocking nobody at
Oh.
all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you? What is yours?
I I would say when it comes to Halloween candy, I probably lean more towards chocolate.
Okay.
I really like Reese's,
Mm,
um, Hershey Kisses, um, but I also like sour candies too.
okay.
Yeah,
Good choice.
I'm
Don't
I'm
hate
I'm a
it.
chocolate person.
I am kind of doing a few like composition sketches where I can kind of figure out what this could look like while we kind of wait for what elements we're definitely going to be putting into it. So
Sure.
like if I'm gonna do like a little scene, I've got one that's um like a box where the illustration will go, and then I figure I could do some elements that kind of break away from that frame,
Mm-hmm.
that lockup, like the garlands or maybe the jack-o'-lanterns or something could kind of be sitting outside the frame, and then some of the
Yeah.
elements could be in there. I've got one where it's just kind of like items sitting in the center, and then the garlands kind of extend past the canvas, um, which is essentially the same concept, except there's no framed portion in the center of it. And then I'm gonna kind of see what else I can come up with here. Um, Ray says, if I must choose, then anything covered in chocolate. That's pretty good. Also, Ray says, greetings from the dark side. I appreciate you all who jump in here and basically pander to what I like. You know, it's just, that's a Val Stream Thrower Star Wars joke. She'll be happy. You're not wrong. You're not wrong about that. It makes my day. Jack also said sour candy and Reese's. Very good.
Nice.
Um, let's see. Yeah, dark chocolate. Clever says frog whispers made with frog's breath. Um,
Hmm.
that's fine, I guess. That's fine.
I've never had it. I'll say that.
Yeah, I can also say that I've never tried it, so let us know what that's like.
Yeah.
Alessandra says, how do you keep your hat on, Val? My curly hair doesn't allow me. Oh, girl, this is what you have to do. Quick beauty tip, if you have very curly hair and you want to put it in your hat, just don't do it and wait till 10 minutes before you need to live stream,
There you
panic,
go.
and then put a hat on.
Yeah.
just
Perfect.
just be underprepared and like overthink it. That's
Yeah.
what you do. No, but really, I have it like in a bun at the base of my neck. Which is honestly, I do actually when I paint and I'm not on camera. I don't have my hair down. I don't look
Yeah.
like this when I paint, folks. I look like a goblin in a cave, with my hair in a knot on top of my head.
Absolutely. 100%. That is me as well.
Yeah, but you've seen those videos. I feel like people are being really open about it these days, where they're like how I look in my Instagram reels versus how I look when I'm actually painting at home.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's not even the same guy.
Yeah.
That's a different person. I think it would be kind of cool maybe to make the cutout shaped like a jack-o'-lantern,
Oh, that's a cool idea.
and then
Like, yeah.
put the
Yeah,
scene
for
in
sure.
there. Yeah, that could be neat.
So, jack-o'-lanterns is 71% on our
Oh,
poll here.
I think
So,
I think that's probably the winner then.
yeah.
So jack-o'-lanterns for sure. Let's go ahead and pin that as the winner. And then our next poll will be choosing between, are we serving apple cider or fruit punch, folks, at our party? Gotta let us know.
Speaking of apples, are you guys more of an apple flavor fan or a pumpkin flavor fan for fall?
That is a great question. Um,
Gonna start wars in the chat here.
yeah, I think that I am definitely a pumpkin flavor person. Unless oddly, nobody nobody come for me, okay? I like pumpkin flavored food. I like apple flavored beverages. I'm not actually a fan of pumpkin flavored beverages,
Mhm.
okay? Um, I won't say I'm not a fan. That's like me saying that I would never, have it. But if I have a choice between like a crisp apple beverage, I'm probably gonna go for that over like a thick pumpkin beverage, to be
Yeah.
honest. That's just my preference. All right, our poll is up. So go ahead, folks. Apple cider or fruit punch. Also, can we just have like some donuts in the chat, like a little Jack
Ooh.
Watson appreciation moment? Because Jack, not only does Jack do our polls so well, but Jack also puts the most perfect emojis with each one of
Yes.
our
The emojis
options.
absolutely raise the bar. They are
100%.
fantastic.
Yeah, so please, if we can get some donuts in the chat, some love for Jack in the chat, I think that would be fabulous. And while you guys are doing that, I'm going to start choosing colors early.
Oh, what kind of colors are you thinking? Do I even
Uh,
have to ask?
no, you don't. How about you tell me what colors I'm using? Because I feel like you know. Guess. Go ahead and guess. I'll just leave my screen like this.
Oh, it's, I don't know. Orange, purple, green.
Yeah. Orange and purple already on the screen, if not yet selected green, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. I am gonna go for a Cody, like beige in the back. Is that beige?
Oh.
Is that
I
a
call it cream.
cream? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Cream, cream, cream. I think that's pretty good. So I got like my little square. I've got my little background, and I'm going to lock transparency today.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, getting fancy here. And I'm going to do a little bit of shading with my dissolve brush. Surprise, surprise! And I'm going to kind of give it a little bit of dimension because I also want to put the jack-o'-lantern outside of my frame, but the jack-o'-lantern is also going to be like sort of orange, maybe a little more red, to contrast it, but I do want to heavily contrast some of the elements of that are going to be outside of that frame, even though a
Yeah.
lot of the colors I'll be using today are similar. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead. Let me grab my brush, and I'm gonna do a quick. Let's grab like a more red color. I'll do a quick jack-o'-lantern shape. Do you? Question for you. I like a good like a jack-o'-lantern as much as the next person, right? But I kind of, when it comes to drawing jack-o'-lanterns, I kind of like a good gourd shape, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like you've got like the sweet squat tiny baby there, and you got like the long tall one that's like
Uh-huh.
bigger at the base. Like I do like an array of sizes
Yeah.
when it comes to jack-o'-lanterns, and I kind of think that the more lopsided it is, the cuter it is,
Yeah.
or the rounder it is, the cuter it is. It really depends. Thanks for the donuts. Yes, I love to see a chat full of donuts. For one of our very favorite people. Carol says I made pumpkin cheesecake once. That sounds
Ooh.
delish. Let me just say. Also, it looks like apple cider is winning the poll. If you guys want to cast another vote for either apple cider or fruit punch, that'll be up for maybe another minute. over on YouTube, so check that out. General Kenobi says, "Punch it, Chewie." The main culprit of all my favorite jokes, General Kenobi. I'm wondering if I can get away with a Star Wars reference in this piece.
As always.
Yeah, you know, that's literally even when I'm doing like serious work, I'm just like, how can I put a Death Star in here? How can I make
Just
this?
make a Death Star jack-o'-lantern.
Cody, this is why we're friends. This is why we are friends. All right, so I've got one jack-o'-lantern shape. Let's do like a more yellow jack-o'-lantern as well, and let's put him right here. We're gonna do it front and center. We're not gonna be subtle about this at all.
Why would you?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a reputation for being subtle. People aren't like, oh yeah, Val, the minimalist artist.
You know.
Yeah, you know, the one that doesn't use a lot. Not to knock minimalist artists. It is a skill that I could never master. I've tried. Have you ever tried like minimalist design before?
Yes, it does not work for me.
No. I'm like, but what if we put 80% more onto the canvas?
Yes.
I think that minimalist artists are incredibly talented in that they, you know, you can't
have self-control.
Yes, number one, self-control. That's a big part of it. I think also though, like you have to know exactly what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Because I use a lot of texture, as do you, you know, and I mean, we use the texture well. We're known for the texture that I think you and I have respectively in our work, and those are aspects that have become unique to our creative voice. But I think that a minimalist artist, if you are not using a lot of that texture and you're not using a lot of that stuff, then you don't get away with what we can get away with, which is I'm not making things perfect. I'm suggesting the idea of perfection.
Yeah.
In the work.
Exactly.
You know, and minimalist artist is putting stuff exactly where it's supposed to be. And I have a lot of respect for that because your girl can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can... I'm using a lot of different oranges. I think it's too many oranges, so this might be where green makes an entrance. That's kind of a nice green. That might work. Okay. And then, all right, let's see. We've got apple cider has definitely won. So I think we will say, because 73%, I don't think that fruit punch is going to pass it up. So we've got jack-o'-lanterns. We'll go ahead and close the second poll with apple cider. And then our next one is kind of our snacks for our party, which is caramel apples versus spooky gummies. So let us know, folks. Are we going to have caramel apples or spooky gummies at the party?
So what would you classify as a spooky gummy, Val?
You know, and this might just be because of I don't even know if they have these anymore. Like, do you remember when we were kids and you could go get gummies? The best ones ever that ever were actually discontinued. And those were the Scooby-Doo gummies that all of them were clear except for like the Scooby tag was like
I
opaque
did used
blue.
To get those
all the time. I love it. So I think spooky gummies are like spooky little critters or like Halloween themed items, you know, but in like a pile of gummies. You know, I think that would be cool. You could also interpret that as like a package, right? Like you could do a package
like
of gummies.
a little, yeah, like a little package that you would get like in your trick or treat bag or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm kind of wondering if I should add a table in here. Ooh, that purple. I don't know. I don't know about that. I know that that's shocking, but this is kind of a garish purple for this vibe. But I'm gonna try it. And hue and saturation.
Got ourselves a bendy straw for our apple cider because that's a necessity.
Honestly, bendy straws make everything taste better, so
Yeah.
you know. Maybe I don't need a table. Maybe I don't need a table. Maybe I just need to, I'm gonna do some little sketching around and see if we can come up with, my apple cider might be in a, could be in a bottle.
Sure.
It could be in a pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it might be pitcher.
Pitcher's good because that's like kind of like party table, you know?
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of what I was hoping the vibe would be. And I'm not gonna have all of it showing. I'm just gonna have some of it showing.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I can do like some interesting tones with it. I think that would be cool. Let's do like a nice brown. I'm gonna take that orange and do like a nice brown, and then when I shade it, I think that like a good cider color would be like almost like a beer, right? Like a kind of golden color to it, I think would be
Definitely.
really good. I think we're gonna make this look more like glass. Let's get more of a green tone. Yeah. Looking good. And then I am gonna take this orange. No, this yellow. We're gonna do that, and then we'll return to that. So we got our cider. And let's see what our poll says. Looks like, ooh, this is more neck and neck. This is 43 to 57%, with caramel apples in the lead, and spooky gummies hot on their trail. So if you prefer spooky gummies or caramel apples, let us know. I've got what is eventually going to be cider in the frame now, and I'm kind of liking this. I'm kind of liking
Oh, that's
this.
super cool. Yeah, I like how you're like using a clipping mask to put it inside the frame so not the whole thing is showing. That's really cool. That's pretty minimal of you.
Oh, thanks. I mean, I have a dissolve brush on, and I'm probably gonna add like 4 more colors, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. I have not broken out one single charcoal brush.
Wow.
So, unless, wait, what is this brush called? I might have lied. I might have just lied to you.
I might be currently using a charcoal brush.
Yeah, I am using a pencil brush. I'm using Chalk 36. So, I lied, because I think that counts, probably. But I haven't, started throwing like texture down with a gigantic brush all over the place just yet.
Yeah.
Actually, I lied. I used the dissolve brush. I already admitted. I'm a phony, folks, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, I've got my picture. I've got my jack-o'-lanterns, or soon-to-be jack-o'-lanterns, And I've got my little frame. I know where I'm putting my garlands because I've got my little garland things laying there. And then we're gonna figure out if I'm doing caramel apples or spooky gummies. I'm not exactly sure where caramel apple is gonna go. But I'm thinking also that you were talking about perhaps adding like an extra little thing into yours. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to think of something that I could add a little extra in. What's gonna go right here, folks? I'll let chat tell me. I need something for right here within the frame because I
Mm-hmm.
might put my caramel apple when it's finished. I'll take like, cause I'm gonna do like a green apple. I'm probably gonna put the caramel apple here, and then use some of my colors from uh, the jack-o'-lanterns as my caramel. We'll do like an apple here, and then we'll maybe have, like, I'll take this darker color, and we'll put another one. So my apples, if there's apples, will go here, and if they're not apples, if they're gummies, there will also be stuff here. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that this will, kind of end up being the composition.
The poll is pretty close.
It is
I don't know
pretty
if you
close.
uh caramel apples is at 56% and spooky gummies is at 44. So maybe we'll just give it another minute or so to get a couple more votes in, whatever you guys want.
Yeah, I
I
think
like
that's a
your
good idea.
apple shapes. They're very
Thanks.
cute.
I'm honestly, I'm really trying to channel my inner Cody with like kind of some unique shapes and stuff because I don't really
Nice.
usually do like a little scene of stacked stuff like
Uh-huh.
so. And I've always really admired how you can take like a shape or simple concept and kind of make it like, I don't know how to describe it. You do a shape that I maybe wouldn't think of should be the shape of the thing you're drawing, but you make that shape belong to the object, if that makes sense.
I
Does that
think
make sense?
I think what I guess what I try to do is I try to like think of the object in real life and then just simplify the lines of the shape.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's kind of like my approach. Like for the most part when I start drawing any kind of shape, I just like start like sketching out some kind of like little rounded square
Mm-hmm.
or like a trapezoidal kind of just like blob shape, and then I kind of sculpt it from there, and all the while thinking how can I simplify this shape, how can
Mm-hmm.
I simplify the geometry. I'm kind of almost trying to make my shapes low poly, like if that makes
Ah,
sense,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
using kind of like a video game term there.
Mm-hmm.
um that's kind of like the idea in my head.
I think
Not
that's a great way
necessarily.
to put it.
Yeah, I don't
I think I
know.
really do. And if you guys are unfamiliar with low poly, I would highly recommend looking it up because maybe that's, I've never thought about it this way, but that might be a really excellent way to kind of learn how to simplify your shapes because low
Hmm.
poly work is like the exact thing in its simplest form, like the bare
Yeah,
minimum you need to get this concept conveyed, like the
exactly.
point across, basically. Okay, I'm going to also, I've got to kind of change this up just a little bit. And I may also need to, you know what? I'm going to make one of these sticks the color of my background is what I'm going to do.
Oh.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I could bring that back in. And I have one
Yes.
stick that's a different color, and one stick that, you know, is like a little bit brighter. But when I add a little
Mm-hmm.
bit of shading to this, I think it will look good. And also, I don't think it matters if the sticks are both different colors because the apples are different colors too.
Definitely.
And I can work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look and see if anybody gave me an idea for what I could put on the wall in the back. Also, I think it's probably safe to say that Caramel Apples has won,
Gotcha.
because
Mm-hmm.
we're kind of, it's starting to distance itself, and we're doing 4 prompts, parts
Yeah.
of the prompt today instead of 3. So let's go ahead and say Caramel Apple wins. And then lastly, we need you to pick the kind of garlands we're going to be hanging up for our party. And your choices are critter garland, so that could be like a bat garland, it could be like a little froggy garland, um, anything like that, or like a leaf garland, kind of stringing up along the walls of our party. So let us know. A wreath. Keys was saying a wreath for the back wall. That's a great idea.
Oh, cute. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You are a snack thief, Val, so it's all good. This is true. And I can't deny it because it's literally over here on on our face cam overlay. So I cannot deny that. I told on myself, which I've been doing a lot of today. I've been doing a lot of that. Spiders, okay. Like for the garland or just to have on the wall.
Just in general.
I
Just
wonder if I
spiders.
could make a spider wreath.
That could be cute. I like that
But
idea.
also a spider garland. That's kind of a choice idea. I
Yeah.
like that. All right, I'm gonna draw a little, not a spider. I'm gonna draw a little Spidey.
A little Spidey do.
Yeah, little Spidey guy. And I think it's gonna be purple. Oops, not like that. I think he's gonna be round. And I think he's going to have little legs.
Some little
Yeah,
legs.
yeah.
He's just a little guy, you
He's
know?
just a funny little guy.
Yeah.
These might be weird spider legs, but I'm trying to figure out like how to kind of get them all together. And I think that I'm gonna do it like that. There's also the
Mm-hmm.
option of doing it like full spider ring style.
Mm-hmm.
The spider rings, I used to love spider rings when I was a kid. Never ever once have I ever worn one comfortably. However, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, they kind of dig in, don't they?
Yeah, they really do. There's a little spider guy. I'm going to convert that to a smart object because I'm going to be resizing it, moving it around. We're going to bring him over here. Maybe that's too dark for this. We can brighten it up. We can change it around and brighten it up, honestly, as we go. But let's go ahead and duplicate that. And make a little wreath. Duplicate those. Oh, you know when you're trying to like move and like orient something and it just like swipes your canvas?
Yes.
And I was like, I can't see.
What?
I can't see.
Ah.
Okay, that kind of looks cool. Honestly though, it could be a bunch of little spiders or it could be a bunch of
Yeah.
like tiny guys.
Looks like a little spider kaleidoscope.
Yes. I don't believe that I am going to be uber precious with this. I really don't want to spend too much time because I still have to do the garlands, which are also going to be some fun little critters. And when I do that, I want to be able to also leave time at the end to kind of detail more of our little pieces. So
Yeah.
I'm going to convert this whole group to a smart object, and I am going to come back to hue and saturation. Also, just a word of advice. I have been using hue and saturation a lot today, and I'm just hitting Control U or Command U if you're working on a Mac to open this up. I have been doing this, and I have also not been converting all of my layers to smart objects, so that means they're raster layers, and after I do a hue and saturation, unless I have enough undos to go back and
Mm-hmm.
change it to its original, it's kind of changed forever. If I
Mm-hmm.
have this changed to a smart object, I'm going to pop over to a full screen for me real quick. If I have this changed to a smart object, let me pull my layers up. Let me, right there. So you can see this group 3 that I just turned into a smart object. And then I kind of transform this. I wonder what we can do. I wonder what happens if we make this brighter. No, not brighter. Maybe darker. Yeah, we'll do darker. That's what we'll do. We'll do darker for now. Then you can see it adds this hue and saturation here, so I can always hide it and go back to the original if I don't like it.
Yeah.
You cannot do that on a raster layer, so highly recommend utilizing smart objects to really ensure that you have, you know, you're working non-destructively and can change your mind about your own artwork, really.
Yeah.
I wonder if I ought to make my wreath bigger. And I think that I can get away with this. If I put it right there, I think I can make it still a wreath.
Oh,
If I put
Val,
a
we have
bow on it.
88% for critter
Oh yeah,
critter garland.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, guys.
I mean, we only have 8 votes, but I feel like it's pretty safe to say if anybody wants to cast a vote, if there's a handful of you out there that want to try leaf garland, we can leave it up for like another minute, but I think it's probably going to be critter garlands. That's an idea. I wonder if it's just that I don't like the spiders on that little background. I also, you know what else? I kind of was thinking that I would do something that color with the garlands in mine. I'm not sure. Also, I have to real quick. I'm putting you on the spot, Cody, but I'm full screening yours because I think we need the full screen to appreciate the glory of what you have created.
Oh, thank you.
This is so good, and it's like it's perfect, like on the full screen and stuff. I like need this as my background on my computer for this month. This is so good. What do you guys think? This is this is amazing. Oh, Nate says thanks for the spider wreath. Ah, maybe the spider wreath is staying. Yes, we are doing this in Photoshop, by the way. Yes, we are. Yes, indeed. So well done, Cody. That's
Thank you.
So good. Magnifico. Right as I was like, maybe we don't need the spider garland. Nate's like, thank you so much for the spider garland.
Yeah.
Or the spider wreath. I'm like, oh.
Well, we definitely need it.
My D. All right. There he is, and I'm gonna put a bow on it. Because if I put a bow on it, then it will look like a wreath.
Yes.
I don't know what color it should be. Maybe a brighter purple. Maybe like a lavender. I think once I add this, you guys are going to be like, oh, wow, that made the whole thing totally a wreath, like totally recognizable as what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's those little details that really make a piece of artwork. I think that there are things that you can get away with when it comes to kind of inventing, you know, little hold on, I've messed something up in my layers that I'm trying to talk to you at the same time. I think you can get away with a lot when it comes to inventing concepts, so long as you also add like the tiny indicators that will continue to show people what exactly it is. And so that the bow is like, okay, it could just be like a circle of strange squiggles, but with the bow there, I think everybody's used to seeing a bow
Yeah.
on one of these. So I think it kind of fills it in for the brain.
Yeah, definitely. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a wreath.
Yeah.
And it's kind of more of a subconscious thing. You don't like actively think about it, but your brain recognizes it.
Yeah. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it's a wreath. I'm going to try to make this kind of a longer bow. And all of my stuff, I'm actually like painting in, like I haven't really done much line art. Because I'm gonna do like clipping masks on all of the shapes, right? And then I'm going to come in with line art on top of the whole thing and do like little hatch marks and things that'll kind of give it personality. So there's a little wreath in the back, and garland. Yeah, it's definitely going to be critter garland. So, what kind of critter garland are you going to go with?
I actually just did it. I drew one little bat and I copied and pasted him across the whole garland.
Adorbs. Adorbs. I'm going to do sentient mushrooms or little frogs.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Little boys.
Little babies, yeah. I think though, this is my thing. First off, I need to redraw my apples real quick. But what I was thinking was that maybe I could. Why are you doing that? User error. Okay. I was thinking that maybe we could do both, because I could do like a little mushroom garland, and then I could just put eyes on my apples, and they would look like little frogs with the caramel on it. You know?
So cute.
Because they have the little bump bump, you know, like
little bump bump.
little bump bumps. Thank you so much for understanding my language, Cody. You know, your standard apple and frog bump bumps.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Thanks. Because they do also look like frogs sitting in a puddle awaiting caramel. So
yes,
that might be the move. And I think I also need to redraw this just to, because I honestly I kind of scribbled a lot of this part in, and I should not have.
I have decided to make my canvas 1080 by 1920.
Okay.
So it is a wallpaper dimension now.
Nice. Does that mean does that mean that you love me, Cody, and you want me to have this as my background?
I wasn't even thinking about that when I was making it. I just kind of like put the things where they felt like they should go, and it kind of ended up being that like horizontal shape as the composition. So,
you know, that's valid, because just messing around and confusedly putting things where you think maybe they should go could be like, that's an occupation. That's, you know, like that's my job. That's
yeah. For sure.
Okay. There's a better puddle, I think. I think that's a much better puddle. Okay. Garland. Garland is gonna be mushroom. And we are going to green? No. not green, this yellow. We're gonna do a little mushroom stalk, and the mushrooms are going to be orange, I believe.
I think in the spirit of Inktober, I am actually going to do this inked.
Yeah.
So for the line art, I'm actually going to use a brush. It's one of Kyle Webster brushes. It's called Da Do Run Run. It is in Kyle Webster's mega pack in his runny inkers, or it might. I think it might be in his inking pack actually, runny inkers. But if you have a CC subscription and you would like to download Kyle Webster's brushes, all you have to do is right click on the brush icon and then just bring up the gear and then go down to get more brushes, and it will open your browser and you can download those packs for free.
Nice. Nice.
And then also for the interior space, I am going to be using, it's actually a watercolor brush. Again, it will be in Kyle's watercolor pack, but this one is called Natural Edge Painter. I really like using this because it kind of gives, like, depending on what color you're using, it doesn't necessarily always look like watercolor in the context of like an inked illustration. It can look like just watered down ink. And so I really like this brush because it kind of blends into itself and just gives it, I don't know, it's just a really cool, and you can layer it too because it's on multiply blend mode. So I really like using this for inked illustrations as well. So those are my two brushes.
Nice. I'm trying to choose a good color for the garland string.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure what color that's going to be. Oh, also I forgot the sticks for my... There we go. Yeah, I need to put like the garland string in, but I don't know what color I'm going to use. Maybe I'll use this lavender, but I don't know. Oh, I could actually I could use the lavender and I could just kind of brighten it.
Yeah. I really love the colors that you're using. Looks great.
Thank you. I'm pretty pleased. All right, I'm hiding my line art, so there's no more line art on this. And I'm gonna make my little mushroom tiny. And I'm gonna kind of do what you did, where I drew a little mushroom, and I'm just gonna duplicate it a bunch and kind of turn it. And I do have some moments in this piece where the contrast of like my varying elements is not as strong as it could be. But I'm hoping, I think I'll have time. We've got about 5 minutes. I think I'll have time to kind of create a little bit of texture over the top of things before we take off. So, oops.
Man, I wish this stream was longer.
Yeah, I know. Because I always feel like I'm like at the end, like once I'm like more comfortable with like the concept, I'm like, oh, now I know what I'm gonna do for 2 more hours on it, and I'm like, oh no, yeah. I gotta go. It's so small that I have to kind of struggling to put these into position, but we're getting there. I think the garland could maybe be better, but we don't really, sometimes we can't noodle with it too much because Cody and I will be here all day.
Exactly.
Okay. Wool mushrooms.
There's a question in the YouTube chat actually,
Oh.
from Danielle. They say tips for straight lines, question mark. Got any
Ooh.
tips, Val?
Yeah. So, one thing that I do all the time, I've got two great tips for you for straight lines, is, let's grab this color here. If you hold shift and then tap and draw, it'll draw a straight line. You can do it straight across. You can do it up and down. Another thing is when you tap, then hold shift, tap in another place, and you will draw a straight line to the second tap. You can also continue to keep this going. So I can tap, 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 and just as long as I'm still holding shift, you can continue to draw straight lines. Now it really depends on what kind of brush you have, because you might have a brush with pressure opacity on it or pressure sensitivity, so you can see that the width from the starting to end point of a lot of these taps are different. But if you don't have that setting on in the brushes, then you can just continue to make straight lines across your piece. So hope that helps. It's definitely a technique that I use often myself, that I love. So I am also finally adding a face to my jack-o'-lantern.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a funny little guy.
Yeah. Of course, obviously.
Yeah, it's gotta be. And I'm adding a little bit of lines. And I think we are coming up on time. Unfortunately, we got about like 3 or 4 minutes. So I don't know if I will get through this whole thing, but I'm gonna try to go supersonic mode and do a good job. Let's see if I can. How long does Val need to make a jack-o'-lantern? Tune in next week.
Yeah.
To Adobe Ball Z. That's good enough. I would have liked to add a little bit more, but that's fine. I'll tell you what we do need to add for sure, before we go, is I definitely need to add my stuff to my little guys here, my little frog apples.
Oh yes.
So let me see how long it will take me to do that. Let me grab this orange. We're gonna do a little caramel on this one. Oops. There's a little caramel. They're sitting in a puddle of caramel. There's this one. Try to go fast. Try to go fast. And then
You got time.
Grab this.
You got plenty of time.
Do I? little eyeballs, and little dot. Okay. There will be. Ooh, we could do that. There's a little mouth. Okay, there are frogs. All right, and they will be better frogs at some point. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. They kind of look like Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I'm not mad about that. Honestly, not mad about that. So this is what we've got, folks. We've got like a minute left, so I've kind of full screen so everybody can see the full version of both of ours. And I think mine needs a little bit more work. Yours looks like a work of art, totally.
Thank you.
Cody, it is so good. I cannot wait to see it finished. This is spectacular. Would make a great screensaver. And that is all the time we have for you folks. So thank you so much for helping us plan our Halloween party. I hope you had a good time. Please stay tuned because there's more design goodness coming up next here on Adobe Live. Adios, folks.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.